Hello, friends. Hi, everybody. I am super excited to be here. I am going to be sharing today my explant surgery journey. This video is going to have two parts. So, part one, which is this one, is going to be where I will be sharing more about the logistical side of my explant surgery, the doctor I chose, why I chose him, why I decided to have the surgery in Colombia, which is my country of origin, and the type of explant procedure that I had. I'm going to share some important things that I personally think women should consider before making this decision. Okay, so let's get right into it. I decided to get an explant surgery after about 10 years of having my second set of implants. So the first set of implants I had for 10 years and they ruptured. I had that first surgery in Colombia. Those implants ruptured after about 9 years and I started to feel a lot of discomfort. I didn't know what it was. I went for a mammogram and they sent me for a second mammogram because they wanted to see that they saw something abnormal. And it turned out that one of the implants had ruptured. So the silicone was already under my armpit and it was spreading out. And I had some silicone under my armpit and it hurt a lot. I was experiencing a lot of discomfort, and that's when I decided that I had to remove those implants and get new ones. At that point, I was still in the mindset that I needed to have implants in order to feel attractive, in order to feel feminine, and so explanting completely without getting another set of implants was not an option for me. So I went for my second set of implants. I did that surgery here in California, in Beverly Hills. Excuse me, I have a little bit of an allergy right now, but I got my second set of implants in Beverly Hills, and despite telling my doctor that I wanted to have a way smaller size than what I currently had, I had 34 double D, which was incredibly big for my body. I am a very thin woman, very fit body structure, and though that first set of implants was incredibly big for my body, I didn't like them. I got used to them because I didn't want to go through another surgery. But back in the day when implants were pretty in, I'm talking about 20 years ago, having huge implants was the thing, especially in Colombia, right? Like the bigger, the sexier, and the better. And so the doctor that I had in Colombia decided to put those implants on me, even though I told him that I wanted them to be proportionate to my body. Once I got out of that surgery and I had those huge melons, I was pretty disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. It really took me a few months to get used to them. Not even a few months, like probably a couple years. But I was not going to go through another surgery so quickly, and I thought I will give it some time. And time went by. I just got used to them, and then after you're with them for such a long time, you start seeing them differently. I didn't see them so huge. You kind of get you get used to them. Unfortunately, I'm not against implants. I want to really highlight the fact that I am not here to judge anybody that has them or that has very big ones. If that's what you like, if that's what feels right for you, if that's what feels aligned with your body, it's totally, that's okay. Not a judgment from me. I'm here to share my experience and the realizations that have come up for me throughout this whole process. So let's talk a little bit about logistics. when I removed my first, actually, let's go back to what I was saying about getting a new set of implants. So the second set of implants was in Beverly Hills with a very well-known doctor in Beverly Hills. And I, despite the fact that I asked for a smaller size, a much smaller size, she still decided to put on me a 34D size. They were about 390 some, I don't know what the measurement is, but that 395. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. They were pretty big, and but they were smaller than the first ones. I didn't like them in the beginning, but after maybe a month or two, I started to really like them. They kind of grew on me. They look more natural than the first ones. They were not like up here. They were like more. They had that natural teardrop um, shape. They look nice. I like them. They were still a little big for my body structure, but I got used to them, and I ended up having them for about almost 10 years again. Last year, I was going up on my 10th year of having those implants, and I started to have a lot of reflections about them. I started to really connect with my body in a way that I had never connected before, through yoga, through movement, through, my own spiritual journey. And at that point, you know that you're supposed to remove or exchange your implants every 10 years, right? For medical reasons, for safety reasons. And I was really reflecting on what I would do this time. And I thought, okay, if I am going to get them out, this time I'm really going to get a size way smaller, and I'm going to make sure that that's what I get. But then there was a part of me that felt like, do I really want to go through this surgery every 10 years? I mean, at what point am I really going to stop and just like remove those implants and allow my body to be natural and to just let my breasts be the way they are? And that thought really felt aligned with me. So I decided that I was going to explant completely, and that I was not going to get another set of implants in my body this time. At that point, I was very clear. I was very clear that I was going to explant. Yes, I did have some concerns about the size. What am I going to look like? Am I just going to be completely flat? Am I going to feel sexy? Am I going to feel attractive? Yeah, absolutely. All of those thoughts come up. However, the clarity that I had about removing them was bigger than, am I going to look a certain way? So at that point, I just decided to do the research that was necessary in order to support the clarity that was arising. So I started to research different doctors that were specializing in explant surgery. First, I found a doctor in Florida that is very well known, and he only focuses on explant surgery. He doesn't put implants in. He doesn't do that anymore. He's very much about explanting right now, and he is the type of doctor that works with women that have had BII. I don't know if you know what that is. It's breast implant illness. Women that have had issues with their implants. I personally didn't have that. My implants were healthy. This set of implants did not rupture, and I just wanted to remove them because they didn't align with my lifestyle anymore, with my mindset, with the way that I was taking care of my body, my health. I just personally didn't want to have anything unnatural inside my body anymore. Again, no judgment for those of you that have them, right? This is my personal experience. Again, I am not giving any medical advice. I am not a doctor. I am simply sharing my own journey with my explant surgery. So I went to see this doctor in person. He's in Florida. I made an appointment. I met them personally because I wanted to feel very clear that the person that was operating me this time felt completely in alignment with with my energy. And this doctor came highly recommended to me by some people that I know. I looked him up on social media. He was all over the place on Instagram, and he had a lot of incredible testimonials. The fact that he only does explant surgery made me feel really good because he highly believed that natural beauty was more attractive and more radiant than putting anything external in your body, anything that didn't belong there. And at that point, that's where I was in my mindset. That's where I still am, and that really aligned with me, with my philosophy about beauty. And so I went and saw him personally again, and I really liked him. He has an incredible clinic in North Florida. And but I decided that I was going to do further research and that I was going to look into some other options. So because I am from Colombia and I know that the plastic surgeons in Colombia are very, very qualified. A lot of people fly to Colombia to do plastic surgery because we have incredible doctors. Not to mention, I have family there, so I thought maybe I'd just do it there, and it's cheaper too. And so I thought I started researching for some doctors in Colombia. And then I came across this doctor that was someone highly recommended. And then I looked into his social media and I saw that he was also very well known and that he was an explant surgeon specialist also. He also puts implants in, but his specialty is explant surgery. So I decided to have a meeting with him. So we had a meeting through WhatsApp, and I really loved his energy. I loved everything that he explained to me. He was very honest with me. He told me straight out and was very, very sincere with me about the size that I was going to be after the explant. I didn't want him to make any promises about you're gonna be just to make me feel comfortable. I wanted him to be very honest. And he did say it's going to be a size 32 between A and a B. At that point, I was pretty shocked because I was a 34B before explant, before I got implants. So I had breasts, very small breasts, but I wasn't flat. So when he said to me that I was going to be between A and a B, I was a little concerned, right? Because that sounded very small. But at the same time, I was still very clear that I wanted to get them out. So, and I was clear that I didn't want to keep going through surgeries every 10 years. I didn't want to keep doing that to my body. It just didn't feel right for me anymore. So I decided to go with this doctor. I liked his price too. I paid about $5,000 for everything. Everything was about I think a little less than 5,000. Not including my flight, obviously, to Colombia, and I have a place to stay, so I didn't have to pay for that. But it was significantly lower than what the doctor in Florida had estimated for me. So I decided to go with this doctor in Colombia, and that's when my journey began. I flew to Bogota, Colombia. My surgery, we had to do all the pre-op procedure, the blood tests and see a cardiologist and get a EKG just to make sure that your heart is okay, and all the things that come before the surgery. Then the surgery got approved, And there I go. The surgery was on October the 15th. One thing that I loved about this doctor is that I was able to communicate with him through WhatsApp, and he was always available. Anytime that I would send him a text, I mean, of course, if he was in surgery, he was not going to respond, but he responded pretty quickly to all my questions. I was very nervous, and he reassured me the whole time that everything was going to be okay, and that I was in the best hands, and that I had all the support that was available from his team. So I really felt very comfortable with him, and that was something that was very, very important to me. Now, the doctor in Florida, he is exceptional. I know that he has incredible testimonials. I would drop his name below this video, both of them, the Colombian doctor that did my surgery and the doctor that only does explant surgery in Florida. He's a very good doctor. The prices are much higher, 3 times more than what I paid, but he is highly recommended and he does great job. So you can look him up and decide. So anyways, the day of the surgery came, October the 15th. I had to be there in this facility. Is like a cosmetic surgery facility. They only do cosmetic surgeries, and everything went incredibly well. I got dropped off very early in the morning. The surgery was scheduled to start at 8 a.m. Once I got there, they got me ready for it, got the IV in, put the robe, whatever I had to wear, and then I went into the surgery room. The doctor was so professional. He was right on time, so nurturing, so caring, so loving. Also, his team was amazing. Everybody was very just available to support me every step of the way. I got into surgery at 8 o'clock. Once again, he told me exactly the way that I was going to look. He said that he was not going to take any extra tissue from my breasts, that all he was getting out was the implant and the capsule. Now, let's talk about the capsule, because there is a lot of questions about whether you remove the capsule or you leave the capsule in. So what is the capsule? So I personally got a capsulectomy. So a capsulectomy is the removal of the scar tissue capsule that naturally forms around implants over time. Some surgeons remove it completely, while others may leave it if it appears healthy, because it sometimes helps preserve a little bit more volume. It can give you a little bit more form and volume, right? For me personally, after discussing it with my surgeon, I felt most comfortable removing the capsule as part of my explant process. I know that a lot of women might want to leave the capsule in because it's going to give them a little bit more fullness and volume, and that's okay. For me, it just didn't feel right? This is a capsule that has been there surrounding your implant for 10 plus years, or whatever time you've had your implants in. For me, it was 10 years. And it just didn't feel right. I like what the doctor in Florida said to me about this. He said, think about taking the trash out and leaving the trash bag in. That's the way that I see it, right? It's like you're taking the trash out, but you're leaving the trash bag in, and you're putting, you're leaving that bag where the trash was in. So for me, it just didn't feel right. and I got it out. I wanted everything out. I just wanted my natural breasts, and however they were going to look, I knew that I was going to have to probably go through a process of acceptance, of embracing my body exactly as it is. I mean, if you can imagine, after going through 20 years of having implants, I didn't even know what my breasts looked like anymore. I didn't know what my body would look like after the explant. So I told him that, yeah, to go ahead and remove the capsule. He said that my breasts were going to be very small. And I said, okay, and so be it. It's my body, and I accept it, and I'm going to fully embrace it. And so we did it. And I came out of surgery at around noon. I think the surgery was about 3.5 to 4 hours long, because I also got reconstruction. If you can imagine, after all these years, right, they're probably going to be, the skin gets saggy, and he had to kind of like lift them. So he gave me a reconstruction and a lift. So he lifted them up a little bit. So he had to cut some of the skin that was hanging, right? And reconstruct the breasts again without removing any of my own breast tissue. The way that he does it, which I think is brilliant, he only goes through the nipple. So I don't have any scars under the breast at all. He takes the nipple out. He cuts through the nipple. He takes the nipple out, and he does everything through the nipple. And then saws, stitches back in, the nipple back in. So the scar is pretty nice. Is that actually you can barely tell that I had anything there. He did an incredible job. The other doctor in Florida doesn't do it this way. The way that he does it is completely different. So he cuts under. It's like a line, like a vertical line under your breast. And I think that's the way that he does it. So then you're gonna have a scar under your breast. I didn't want that. That's why I chose my doctor in Colombia, in Bogota. Okay, so I come out of surgery. I have no pain. I get picked up around noon, and I did get drains, right? Like, they give you these drains that are attached to your bra with like a little clip. And so you have one drain on each side that is going to drain out any fluids, right, from your breast, any blood, any fluids that don't belong there. And you're going to have these drains for about max 10 days, minimum 3 days. And it all depends on how much fluid you have, right? I had a lot, and you have to kind of drain that out every 6 hours. So it's like a little bag, like a little plastic bag. It's very, very uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie. That was probably the worst part of the surgery, was like carrying those drains around. So every 6 hours you have to take the little bag, unclip it, drain out the fluid, and clip it back on. And then set an alarm for every 6 hours so that you can drain out so that you can empty the bags, basically. You're going to be with antibiotics all the way throughout until they remove the drains, and with pain medication. I was on, these antibiotics and the pain medication for about 15 days. I didn't feel any pain at all. And after they removed the drains, which was actually, I was with those drains for about 15 days. Once they remove the drains, it's very uncomfortable when they remove that tube, because you basically have a tube, inside, it's through here. And then when they take it out, it just feels a little uncomfortable. It doesn't hurt. It's just discomfort that you feel. Sorry, it was a fly. But after they remove the drains, it's such a huge relief that you feel, right? Finally, you don't have anything there. You have to sleep on your back and almost like seated. I slept in a recliner chair, if you can believe that, for about 10 to 15 days. I slept on this recliner, and I slept pretty much like this, like almost like propped up. And yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun. Honestly, the first month is you have to sleep on your back, um, because, right, you don't want to do anything to change the shape of your breast, right? It's like they're reaccommodating. The tissue is like getting back into place, and you don't want to obviously lay on your stomach or on your side and do anything that may cause uh, the shape to change, to damage your surgery. So you sleep on your back, and when you have the drains, I'm telling you, it is not comfortable. It's not. I mean, it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me, especially you're waking up every 6 hours to drain the bags out. So yeah, that is the only part, honestly, that was uncomfortable, because everything else was just such a breeze. And once he removed the drains, there's no pain, and I wasn't even taking any pain medication anymore. He actually suggests that you don't take anything anymore. Only, you can take Advil or Tylenol after you stop with the painkillers. And I didn't need any of that. I didn't feel any pain, which was pretty extraordinary. He doesn't release you until he removes the drains and he makes sure that everything is fine and you are completely good to go. So you basically cannot leave the country until 20 days after the surgery. And yeah, some doctors, like for example, the doctor in Florida, he releases you like a week after he removes the drains. This doctor in Bogota, he's more meticulous. And I actually kind of like that. I like that a lot, because he really wanted to make sure that, you're going to be flying overseas, right? And if you need any medical assistance after you get back home and you are, right, and he's all the way back in Colombia, like you don't want to have to go to the emergency room if something comes up. So he doesn't release you until he removes the stitches. That's what it is. And so he took the stitches out like 20 days, pretty much 20 days after the surgery. After he removed the stitches and he made sure that everything was fine, he said, you're good to go. You can fly back to your country, to the US. So that's basically it so far. You have to wear a sports bra for about 3 months. He recommends pretty fitted bra, something like this, just not as fitted as this, because this is a sports bra, but something that really holds your breast in, right? So that it gives you that shape. And you wear that for about 3 months, and after that you don't have to wear it anymore unless you want to. But I slept with the bra on for 3 months. Maybe for 4 months I did it, just to make sure that everything was in place. And then not anymore. And honestly, I'm going to tell you that I love my breasts. I love the shape. I love the way that they look. They are small, but they look healthy. They look proportionate to my body. I feel so good about the fact that I don't have to do another surgery in 10 years. And that I don't have anything in my body that doesn't belong there. That is the part that I feel the most proud of. That I am completely natural now, and that I am fully embracing my breasts. So this is part 1, and it's about, I really wanted to talk about the doctor. I wanted to talk about the logistical aspect of my surgery. And I am going to record part 2 in which I'm going to share more about the spiritual journey that I've had with my new breasts, getting used to them, embracing them, and how that has changed my relationship with my body, not having the implants, and what that has done for me, in what ways it has benefited me physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And yeah, so I will share more about that on my next episode. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Adriana Wellness After 50. I am 51 years old, and I am all for natural beauty, being healthy in a natural way. And this is a channel in which I would be sharing a lot of beauty and health tips, healing your body from the inside out. And that's really my philosophy. That's what I stand for. And if this resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment. If you are in the process of maybe considering getting an explant surgery, let me know here. And if you already had an explant and you didn't get implants again, let me know also. And how was your experience with that? I would love to hear from you. And I'll see you in the next video. Sending you so much love.